Yep, I'm back, and I've cleaned the apartment, and I'm making a space. I'm making a space for him. I'm making a space for Astaroth. I'm making a space for the spirit guides, my Indian guide. I'm making space for Queen Anne. I'm making a space for my guides. Those are my guides. I also have a guide, not really a guide, but a visitor who has been with me for a long time. And this guide hasn't shown up recently, but is appearing in a doll that I'm making. I guess it has shown up. It's like a dark, leathery demon with a childlike center. And its skin is like a cockroach shell. It's like an exoskeleton, but it's very muscular and ribbed, and it has no face, just like no features, just a very elongated, like a rugby ball for a head. And this being is very misunderstood, and it has a childlike center, and it wants to come through. It wants to come through. It wants to come through. It wants to come through me, and I do miss it. I do. I used to sit in my mother's trailer, and I would watch the front door, and I would see this thing as a dark energy come through the door and come up to me like a night terror. And but I wasn't afraid of it. I was already dealing with, Llewellyn books and New Age stuff at that time, and I'd already been kind of weather beaten at that stage. But I was training to see auras and things like that. So when I saw this black creature come through, it kind of reminded me of. It wasn't very concrete at that stage. It was just like a mist. Only until I got into university at 19 did this thing really manifest. And it's a beautiful creature, if you like that kind of thing. And it is wanting to come through now. And I don't know what's going to happen when it does. But I do feel like I need to be much more respectful of these beings. And I need to show more respect to people as well as these spirits. And I don't need to assume the attitude of being the master, for I have had a very humbling experience, and I'm very grateful for whatever brought it. I have been noticing the signs that led up to this that could have warned me, and I knew something was happening. I knew I was receiving a message when I was making the quilt, the nebula quilt, the one to contain the spirit. That was a sign. I knew that it looked like a stargate, and so I named the quilt Nebula. And I wanted to put the Astaroth sigil in the quilt try to quilt it in there. I haven't figured out how to do that yet. Oh, my hands are going crazy. I think this is a sign that the energy is about to begin. But that was a sign that it was about to happen. And then Ella speaking through the dream and sending the scorpions through me. The stingers are symbolic of the knowledge. When I look at them on my homepage, I just see that old Egyptian magic in them symbolized, and that stinger is kind of, the tapping of knowledge on the spiritual body. So just being pricked and given that knowledge. Oh, so I'm really attracted to Aleister Crowley even right now. I don't read Crowley, and I don't have his books. I read about Crowley. I have read some of his poetry, and I find it very attractive. And I am attracted to him sexually, even though he's a dead person. I don't think that's very healthy. But, Actually, I'm really into Arthur Edgar Waite, and really am into that kind of stuff. But one thing that Arthur Edgar Waite wrote was that he examined the sources of, like, the grimoires and of the Leviathan and the seals of Solomon and sigils, and he found that these things are not ancient. They are very, of this age, and he said that the Astaroth, some of the evidence for Astaroth, it said that he is the king of the Americas in some books, and that suggested that this knowledge was written about after the discovery of the New World. So I think I have found that there is an address for my spirit, and that address is not on this world. That address is out in space, in the nebula that I have created in quilt form, and quilted a Stargate, and I have folded it up, and I might get it out soon. I have to put the border around it and finish it, and then I don't know. That's it. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Dominique. I got a lot to say, but I don't know how to say it.